Show is your program. Let me address some things that I need to address first for some stuff that I saw on your program. You understand? The first thing I want to address is this, and the reason I got this throwback Jim Brown shirt on, you know, one of the greatest running backs of all time, and probably one of the greatest people that we know in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Not only he was an athlete, he was an educator, and he was about our people. I met him when he did the work release program, and he was sponsoring that in the New York State prison system. You understand? He was sponsoring programs here in New York State prison system as well as all over the country. But I want to make this a teaching moment, man. You know, I seen this young cat on your show. I think it's Freddy P from Making of the Band. And he was saying some things that, and it shocked me because he never addressed or brought me up in anything before. But I guess when, you know, the people deem you hotter than fish grease, everybody want to come and try to get in the frying pan. You understand? So I want to address this with old boy because he always claimed how gangster he is. When you gangster, you ain't got to tell nobody. They already know what you are. I've been around a lot of gangsters, pranksters, and people. And then people want to say to me that, you know, as me being what I did for a living, I don't supposed to be around people in the streets. I don't supposed to be around people who in the underworld or whatever they do. I wasn't in their business because I knew the easiest thing to do in the world is to mind my own business. And I've always done that. You understand? So let me just say this to you, Mr. Freddy P. And we're going to make this a teaching moment. You understand? Let me ask you this. How many times did you see Diddy spike some bottles of alcohol and gave it to women? How many times did you see Diddy How many times did you?
Jan Deal and Freddy P, two names that carry weight in the hip-hop world, are at the center of a heated feud that's sparking new debates about loyalty and power in the music industry. This isn't just a rivalry between big personalities. It's a clash that goes deep into the heart of hip-hop culture and the legacy of one of its biggest icons, C. Diddy.
I'm not going to wait for your answer because you're going to say never. See, he knew what to do, when to do it, around people that he did it with. And I wasn't one of those people, brother. Today, everybody and their mama then came out. Everybody and their mama then came out and said who did what, when, where, how, to them. And they have yet said anything about Gene Deal other than you internet clowns. Not one victim, not one witness said Gene Deal was involved in any of that. But y'all want to come out here and y'all want to say, yo, I want to see, you know, I want Gene Deal to tell this. I can't tell nothing, man. Listen to me. If you think I'm stupid or blooping, you think I'm that motherfucking... Oh my God, man, I can't even... Do you think I'm an individual that's so dumb that I done did all kinds of dirt with this man and I'm gonna come out against him? I'm just like shooting myself in the foot. Young man, the statements you made, bro, I can't believe it, man. It's like you put your brain in a bird and it'll fly backwards. I look at you sometimes, man, I say, damn, Shorty had a rough life because he put everything into that Making the Band as if he was going to make it. But Sean Perez said that in front of y'all. It was for the world to hear. He said, if you don't do what Diddy say, or Puffy at the time, none of y'all would ever be in this business because that's how much power he had. Brother, I wasn't under those same guidelines. I had my own money. I went to work every day. It was part-time for me. It was side money, hustling money for me. So I want to say to you, young man, and we're going to make this a teaching moment because you the one claim that you gangster.
The drama is unfolding like a high-stakes rap battle, but the issues at play go way beyond just clever wordplay. Freddy, once part of the group, has openly criticized Diddy's business methods. His frustrations trace back to his time with Diddy's Bad Boy Records, a major force in hip-hop during the early 2000s.
And Puff inmate number is 0666. Why is 0666 coming over on 0607? Why is Puff stuff coming over on his card? Hold up. Did he just say, take that, take that? Do I hear, bad boy, come out and play? They know his voice. And now for him to be giving people instructions to do things, like I say, he got to be one of the smartest dumb MFs we know. So if they got him on there telling people to get in touch with people or tell people to stop, because evidently you got to realize this. We may not be doing this pretty soon. We may not be even talking about Puff. None of these YouTubers. Because of what? They trying to get a gag order on social media. They trying to get a gag order on social media that nobody should be discussing these cases or his case or anything about him. And that's crazy. I know the judge is not trying to stop people's freedom of speech, their constitutional right. How dare his lawyers with that bull crap? They're trying to get a gag order on social media. Anyone speaking on him. That's why, did you hear about that they had private investigators going to content creators? A few content creators and asked them, were you paid to talk about Diddy? Are you paid to talk about, or did somebody give you money to do any kind of content regarding his cases or whatever like that? They got people that they hired to go out there and then told them that if you stop, we'll pay you.
Freddy has repeatedly accused Diddy of taking advantage of vulnerable artists eager for their big break. At first, his complaints seemed like typical industry frustrations, but recently, Freddy has raised the stakes, making statements that some feel could cross the line into defamation.
I'm good, man. But I am hearing that Diddy in good spirits.
Wow. I didn't hear none of that, man. All I know is that, the guards are being closely monitored. Because it was said that he was on a cell phone. And I don't think you could have a cell phone in the Brooklyn House of Detention, the Brooklyn or the Manhattan House of Detention. I don't think you could have a cell phone. And I heard that he had a cell phone. He made some calls to some people. So they're going to watch the guards closely, because if you remember with the Epstein case, and check this out, those two guards that were supposed to be brought up on charges because they falsified records, you ain't heard nothing else about them. They retired in Florida with their feet kicked up, probably with millions of dollars. You ain't heard nothing else about those cases, bro. See, I believe if he gets out and enough people feel like him being a danger, because what happens is right now, the federal government is playing a game with him. They playing a game with him. because they want him probably to be a witness or to turn over some evidence on some other people that they would like to have behind bars too. And you got to realize this. For him to do that, and if he does that, his life is more dangerous, in danger.
Freddy P's anger goes beyond business. It's personal. He has openly blamed Diddy for ruining his career and even damaging his mental health. I gave everything I had, and what did I get in return? Freddy shared in a recent social media post. His words have resonated with many fans who believe the music industry often exploits young talent, only to discard them once they're no longer profitable.
My man, in order to you to think that you could get away with doing any kind of witness tampering in prison, you got to probably be one of the smartest, dumbest person, because they tape everything, bruh. Don't you know when he was using those other people cards and they phone cards and everything like that, and they hear it, that person was like that. Hold up. That's supposed to be inmate 076. And Puff inmate number is 0666. Why is 0666 coming over on 0607? Why is Puff stuff coming over on his card? Hold up. Did he just say, take that, take that? Do I hear, bad boy, come out and play? They know his voice. And now for him to be giving people instructions to do things, like I say, he got to be one of the smartest dumb MFs we know. So if they got him on there telling people to get in touch with people or tell people to stop, because evidently you got to realize this. We may not be doing this pretty soon. We may not be even talking about Puff. None of these YouTubers. Because of what? They trying to get a gag order on social media. They trying to get a gag order on social media that nobody should be discussing these cases or his case or anything about him. And that's crazy. I know the judge is not trying to stop people's freedom of speech, their constitutional right. How dare his lawyers with that bull crap? They're trying to get a gag order on social media. Anyone speaking on him. That's why, did you hear about that they had private...
Enter Jan Deal, a man who knows Diddy better than most. As a former bodyguard for the hip-hop mogul, Jane was right there during the rise of Bad Boy Records and the cultural shift it helped create.
Whatever like that. They got people that they hired to go out there and then told them that if you stop, we'll pay you. Mighty, they might, they might be coming to the Art of Dialogue, Mighty. They might be coming to y'all, man. You gonna take that hush money, huh?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good, man. But I am hearing that Diddy in good spirits.
Wow. I didn't hear none of that, man. All I know is that, the guards are being closely monitored. Because it was said that he was on a cell phone. And I don't think you could have a cell phone in the Brooklyn House of Detention, the Brooklyn or the Manhattan House of Detention. I don't think you could have a cell phone. And I heard that he had a cell phone. He made some calls to some people. So they're going to watch the guards closely, because if you remember with the Epstein case, and check this out, those two guards that were supposed to be brought up on charges because they falsified records, You ain't heard nothing else about them. They retired in Florida with their feet kicked up, probably with millions of dollars. You ain't heard nothing else about those cases, bro. See, I believe if he gets out and enough people feel like him being a danger, because what happens is right now, the federal government is playing a game with him. They playing a game with him because they want him probably to be a witness or to turn over some evidence on some other people that they would like to have behind bars too. And you got to realize this. For him to do that, and if he does that, his life is more dangerous, in danger outside of jail than it is in. Because they can't do the same, they can't do the same Epstein move again. They can't do the same Epstein. You know, my friend told me that they put up so many cameras.
Over the years, Jane has shared stories about his time with Diddy, offering a balanced view of a man who was both a visionary and deeply flawed. But this time, Jane didn't just reflect on the past. He boldly spoke out against Freddy, criticizing his actions in a way that was intense enough to send chills down your spine.
Portrayed many types of people, but you clearly you like to play an evil character, don't you?
Well, sure, I like to work.
It's no surprise that when fellow celebrities watched him regularly don the cloak of such serious and scary roles, they couldn't help but associate him with those characters. Some might say that people were more scared of Walken off-screen than on, just like the case with Denis Villeneuve. Once, Patrice Vermette, the production designer of Dune 2, also stated in an interview that the Deer Hunter actor's casting as the film's villain was an easy choice, calling it a no-brainer because of the general image he possessed in the industry. He said, "Speaking of villains, the movie will finally introduce the Padishah Emperor Shaddam Thor in the flesh." And Villeneuve made it clear that casting Christopher Walken in the role was a no-brainer because there's something about that man that commands respect. Walken's bone-chilling aura even managed to give the charismatic Mel Gibson a serious case of the heebie-jeebies during their first encounter. This peculiar meeting from the annals of Hollywood history resurfaced in a vintage 1998 interview, where Mel Gibson spilled the beans on his rather unsettling take on the movie industry. The interview went viral, setting the online community abuzz with wild conspiracy theories in the wake of Gibson's comments. He acknowledged, "I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist, you know." Gibson's comment about Walken was not right because despite his looks and eerie aura, he is a legendary actor who has contributed to Hollywood with his captivating performances. Well, it appears that those who dared to speak about the legendary actor might have felt the icy winds of disapproval from some of Hollywood's elite. Recently, Mel Gibson has been toiling away on a rather controversial movie, and the latest buzz is quite the showstopper. Word on the street is that the film has achieved a jaw-dropping milestone, breaking the $150 million barrier at the box office, and its meteoric rise seems far from running out of steam.
And they don't have a lot of 3D special effects, but they do operate on a higher level.
Despite the persistent efforts of woke Hollywood and the liberal news media to put a damper on things, this film has not only recouped its production costs, but has managed to bankroll a whopping tenfold return. It's now etching its name in the annals of box office history as one of the most astonishing triumphs of all time.
If I put down exactly what happened, it's too hard to take. No, there have been a lot of obstacles thrown in the way. You know, there's a lot of what would you call it?
It's absolutely mind-boggling how Hollywood is seemingly going all out to give this movie the cold shoulder. The movie has seemingly reignited the spotlight on Hollywood, and it's raising eyebrows all around. One notable figure finding themselves under the magnifying glass is
Gene's response to Freddy's accusations was quick and direct. In a recent interview, he accused Freddy of twisting the truth and exaggerating his complaints for attention. "If you're going to speak on someone's name, make sure it's backed up with facts," Gene stated firmly.
Denzel stormed out furious after seeing something that shocked him to the core. But what did he see that night? And why are rumors still swirling that he handed over the footage to the feds that could bring down one of the biggest names in music? Now, before diving into that fateful night in 2003, it's essential to understand the worlds of Denzel Washington and Sean Diddy. Comes two men who, while occupying the same Hollywood landscape, couldn't be more different in how they approached fame, fortune, and life. Denzel is the embodiment of what many would call a role model and actor who not only excels in his craft, but also lives by the same principles he portrays on screen. Denzel's career is marked by his selective choice of roles, each reflecting a strong moral compass, whether it's his powerful portrayal of Malcolm X or the morally conflicted anti-hero in Training Day off-screen. Denzel's commitment to faith, family, and maintaining a private life is well known. In a town full of temptations, Denzel has always chosen the road less traveled. Sean Diddy Combs, on the other hand, built his empire through a very different set of values. From running Bad Boy Records and being a key player in the hip-hop scene, to branching out into fashion and other ventures, Diddy thrived in the world of excess parties, fame, and constant media attention were integral to his brand. And while Diddy admired Denzel often, calling him a role model for maintaining integrity in an industry built on temptation, his life choices reflected a different path. Now, you might be wondering, if the relations between these two were so good, why would Denzel snitch on him? Well, this is because of what Denzel witnessed at that party. It was the summer of 2003, and Diddy's latest party was in full swing. The music was deafening, the drinks were flowing, and the air was thick with the scent of extravagance. Diddy's parties were legendary, a place where anything and everything could happen, and often did. Celebrities, moguls, and influencers gathered to celebrate excess. But that night, something was different. Denzel Washington was not one for these kinds of events. He wasn't the type to seek out the spotlight, preferring instead the quiet company of close family and friends. But for whatever reason, perhaps out of respect for Diddy, he found himself there that night in the midst of a scene that clashed with everything he stood for. As the night wore on, it became clear that the party had crossed a line even by Diddy's standards. Rumors started swirling that the usual chaos had turned darker, and Denzel, ever the man of strong principles, couldn't stay silent. Eyewitnesses reported that Denzel saw something that directly challenged his moral code. According to multiple sources, Denzel confronted Diddy.
Gene also stood by Diddy, admitting that while Diddy isn't perfect, he believes the allegations against him lack credibility. This isn't about being a yes man or protecting anyone's reputation. It's about setting the record straight, Gene declared.
Came out of him water rafting. Yeah, man, she was heated about that, man. She came out with a statement.
Well, I think that this being in the men's shower in the prison system, the shower probably ain't as hard as that white water rafting is, but it'll be a lot of hard things in there that'll remind him of what he was doing on the outside. Bruh, dude has a right until he's been proven guilty to enjoy his life. You understand? Cassie got her 30 million, you know what I'm saying? Go enjoy your life, but it could never pay enough for what she probably went through, or somebody putting their hands on them and doing the shit that they was doing and drugging them up and changing who they was. You understand? That happens in life. I've seen it in a lot of different cases. You understand? Girls will get with a certain guys and they drug them out. They put them out. You know, now she has still a chance to try to get some normalcy in her life and get those nightmares away. You understand? But this dude doing all that stuff like that, that just goes to show me that he knows he's going away, bro. That's all. Never seen him on a bike before then. You never seen him on a boat riding a whitewater rafting before then. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing none of that stuff until recently that we know of. He might be jumping out of parachute, jumping out of a airplane with a parachute.
The fallout from Gene's comments was swift. Freddy P, never one to back down, fired back just as strongly. He called Gene a sellout and accused him of trying to rewrite history for his own benefit. You're out here defending a man who built his empire on the backs of people like me, Freddy shot back. The feud quickly escalated, spilling onto social media where fans, industry insiders, and even other artists began chiming in.
I think it needs to be a harsh penalty because, people are doing any and everything to be relevant, even at the expense of others' reputations and livelihoods. And that's just not fair. You can really damage someone financially. You can even drive them to suicide because the world is an evil place now. So I feel like if you do something like that, I feel like harsh consequences should take place. I really believe that.
Lab, let me get your thoughts on that, because I know we've even had conversations when you've been in studio where, people are on your social media saying things and, they see one thing and they run with it. What are your thoughts? Do you think there needs to be a real penalty for people that spread misinformation?
100%, especially when you say and spread things that potentially could damage people's brand. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about the internet is once it's out there, it's out there. And there's no way of pulling it back now. Back in the days, a newspaper could retract a story and you never saw or heard that story again. But once somebody posts something on the internet, y'all know, we know people screenshot it, other people repost it. Mm-hmm. And so it will live on forever. And then some Steve said, the mental piece of it. Mm-hmm. Justin Bieber had a whole mental breakdown.
Yep, several.
About how the industry was treating him and all this stuff right here. Can you imagine if these tapes truly exist and a tape exists of him is put out in public, what that could do to him mentally? These people don't see it, and that's the problem. These people don't care about none of that. They just want clout. Want to post it. They just want to get the clicks and the views, and they don't care about the fallout and the ramifications for this. So I think, hell yeah, there should be stiff penalties. If this tape is released, and they can prove who released this tape, they need to go to jail. And Justin Bieber does something to himself, I think they need to go to jail for that.
Held accountable. And I want to add this too, Symphony. I also found out that when they found that baby oil and stuff, I think a Smart Ass University shirt was found as well. I just wanted to put that out there.
You know what?
But it was a chick wearing the Smart Ass University shirt, so we okay with that. She was doing a little Winnie the Pooh type action, so we good.
Lab, let me ask you this, because Lab, like I said, we've had those conversations in studio where, and what I really love and appreciate, you always do your research. Every time we talk about a topic, you're like, hey, that's cool, that's an opinion, that's something that you heard from another celebrity or another source, but it's not credit, and you're always going to find that source. I think information like this can be so detrimental to our community, right? Because you have older people. I have people in my family, they see stuff.
Despite his larger-than-life persona and active social media presence, Diddy has remained noticeably silent throughout the feud. Some see his silence as a strategic move, letting others defend his reputation without getting directly involved in the drama. Others view it as an unspoken recognition of the complexity of his legacy. After all, Diddy's career has been defined by huge successes as well as ongoing controversies.
He's the reason I'm alive right now. You feel me? He don't really care about money like that. He don't really care about a lot of them. As long as he got his jewelry, he got his cup, he got his gun, and we doing our thing, he cool.
Yeah, that's all you need in life.
So, whenever I know I got a situation coming up and, the risk of dying is high, dude got gonna make sure he there. That's what he like to do. Right. But anywhere I take my boy, I have to give him certain guidelines. On this particular day, I say, bro, I don't know what we're going to see in here, but we get $2,500 apiece to keep these two models right here safe at this event. Don't get out of my eyesight. He said, Gordo, that's my nickname, Gordo. He said, Gordo, I love you, but I got to go to the bathroom. I say, okay, bro, the bathroom over there, I think. So I'm over here dealing with them. About 30 seconds go, I hear, he got a gun. So I'm like, I instantly know, I say, fuck. I look over there, I see he got joined up and it's out. And he pointed it at somebody. He said, hey, man, everybody get on the ground. So now here I go. I got to say, y'all stay right there. I come over there. 5 dudes in the bathroom. Everybody pants at their ankles. One dude didn't even have no pants on at all. He even had no socks on. He getting extra crazy. I'm like, dude, what you just see? He say, bro, these motherfuckers in here all pulling each other. I'm like, what you mean? He say, man, sword fighting in here. Hey, we gotta go. I'm looking like, damn. Shout out Big Dugard.
Shout out Big Dugard.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Dugard. Damn.
That's the thing, bro. Like, bro.
So, let's do it like this. Let me ask you.
Niggas would get mad at me. I wouldn't plug them with celebrities. And I say, look, bro, you don't know what you asking for. And when I see certain guys, I say, yeah, you definitely getting your cake stood. Because you too thirsty to go be up here. 5 in the morning? You want to be in the studio with all dudes? Everybody on ecstasy and cocaine? They sipping liquor? There's no females here? You the females, my boy.
Shit.
You the female. Oh no.
Now, Chris Columbus had a story that he told where he was laying down with his wife, and he got a phone call from Diddy like at 2 in the morning, saying, "I'm at the hotel," and he's like, "Yeah, well, who there?" Like, pull up. It's just me. And I'm like, when you hear these stories,
The allegations against Diddy are nothing new. Over the years, former artists like Mace and The Lox have spoken out about what they call unfair contracts, painting a picture of an industry titan whose business savvy sometimes came at the cost of those signed to him. However, Diddy's defenders argue that he's no different from other moguls in the industry, and that his impact on hip-hop far outweighs his flaws. This mix of admiration and criticism makes him one of the most polarizing figures in music history.
so you saw, again, when you spoke on this, we didn't know what an indictment was going to be, but then the indictment came down, they unsealed it, showed what it was. Now, you as an attorney, do you feel like the federal government has a strong case when it comes to the criminal matter of what's going on outside of the freaky nature?
Yeah, by all means, man. I mean, most people are definitely afraid to even walk into a federal courthouse.
Yes. Big boys.
Jurors are afraid. Everybody's in awe. So that's advantage federal government, right? The evidence and the public perception that they currently have is strong as well. And I'm going to go ahead and correct myself. Cassie was beaten because I got.
There was Cassandra. I don't know what you called her. What'd you say last?
I'm not saying that again. I'm not saying that again. So to the 2 or 3 people who corrected me on the name, I left it alone. I apologize.
They picky, boy.
Hey, you know what? But you know what? Call me out.
Yeah.
If you see something and I see it, if I'm wrong, if I see it, I'll chime in. Or if I feel like I'm not wrong, I'll chime in and explain why I said what I said. So I have no problem communicating with your viewers.
Yeah. So yes, no, as you stated, Cassie, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which is not illegal. Again, it's not illegal. But
is it not?
Man, listen.
Is it not?
Is
it flammable?
It's flammable.
No, I'm just asking.
Physically or metaphysically? Like, what are we talking about? Because it can go both ways.
I don't want to know about the metaphysical part of it. But no, I mean, that much of anything, quite honestly, if it could be used to make a bomb, chances are you're not supposed to have that.
But it's easy defense. Hey, we like having oil parties, bathtubs full of oil and slip and sliding.
Is it a fix?
To me, that's an easy.
Is it easy fix?
Yeah, I mean,
don't say
move
that.
on to the next question.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's like we literally have baby oil wrestling nights.
You know why you don't want to?
Is that illegal?
It's illegal in the context of how Sean Combs uses it. So you don't want to say that.
Okay.
So don't. If Sean Combs, if you see this, Joker should not be your attorney.
That's why I did not pass the bar.
Because statements like that are gonna get you sent straight. They're gonna be like, we don't even need a jury. Just
listen.
This is your cell right here. This is your cell. You don't want to say that.
But he has to explain that. His lawyer has to explain it.
Well, and watch this. Man, sometimes keeping it simple is the best thing. I look at the statutes of this state, and that's not illegal. Leave it at that. Don't be trying to explain.
Right. I was just gonna say, should his lawyer even be talking? This is my thing. Like, I think every time he opens his mouth, it just hurts him a little bit more.
Man, It is.
What makes this feud so interesting is how personal it is. Gene and Freddy aren't just arguing over money or business practices. They're challenging each other's character and intentions. Gene claims Freddy is holding onto past grudges to stay in the spotlight, while Freddy accuses Gene of protecting an outdated system in an industry where reputation is everything. These accusations are serious and carry a lot of weight.